Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Cooking for the Family. I'm Devon and today I'm going to share with you this yummy, simple, and delicious recipe for chocolate chip shortbread rounds. It is so simple to make and only a few ingredients to put together. And hey guys, this is part of my 12 days of cookies and holiday treats. At the end of this video, I will have the link to those other videos that you do not want to miss out on. Now this recipe is so simple. All you need is 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks of butter, and I'm using salted butter because this recipe actually does not call for any salt. And so to help balance out some of the sweetness, we are using salted butter, okay? And that's nice, soft, salted butter. As well as, hey guys, tell me if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to my channel, go on and hit that subscribe button. And if you're a returner, welcome back. And if you like this video, hey, go on and give us a thumbs up. So now I have my nice soft butter in my bowl. And you know what, because this recipe comes together so simply, I didn't need to take out my big stand mixer to do this recipe. And it really works best. You really want to make sure that butter is nice and soft, so that way you can blend it well. Now the sugar, all we do is put in 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, and you see that I'm mixing this really good with my whisk there. It comes together in no time. Now once we have our butter and sugar all creamed together, we're going to go on and add in our flour. And I'm just using regular all-purpose flour. And you see I'm just aerating it just like that. Just like that. I just go on and I just aerate it right there. Now you can also sift your flour if you like. And you're just going to go on and sift your flour. Now we're going to be using actually 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and I like to use just 1 cup at a time. I only like to put in 1 cup at a time, so that way A, we don't make a big old mess on the counter, and B, it's actually easier to mix in the flour a little bit at a time. And you see what I'm doing? I am just pressing. I'm going around, I'm rotating my bowl around, and I'm pressing that flour into that butter and sugar mixture, that creamed butter and sugar. I am pressing that flour in there. And this is a shortbread recipe, so we're not putting any eggs, and so we really need to make sure that we're hydrating our flour for our cookie dough, okay? And once again, I'm aerating my flour before I add it to my bowl. And we're doing our 2nd cup of all-purpose flour right there. And we're going to go on and mix that around just like that, nice and gentle, and just press. Just move your bowl around like that and just gently press. Now this is something definitely the kids can do because you don't need a big mixer to put together this shortbread chocolate chip cookie recipe. You just go on and just do it like that. And even if you have a bigger or a deeper bowl, hey, that'll probably work just as good. And you just press like that and go around and press. Just like that. Now once we have our flour has mixed in well, we've blended it well into our dough, our last step is we're going to put in our chips. And we're going to be using milk chocolate chips in our recipe. Now you can also use semi-sweet chocolate chips if you like, and if you're a person that really likes dark chocolate chips, you like to use those special dark chocolate chips, you can feel free to use those in the recipe as well, because we're going to be dusting our cookies with a little bit of powdered sugar at the end. Now I'm using those milk chocolate chips, and I'm going to use 1 cup of milk chocolate chips. Now once we have our cup of milk chocolate chips in our dough, all we're going to do now is just rotate our bowl. I'm pressing those milk chocolate chips in there. And now you see what I'm doing? I'm just rotating and pressing. Now this is a dry dough because remember, there's no eggs, there's no vanilla. So this is a drier dough. But because of that butter, it really is going to end up holding together well because we're going to roll these into small balls about 1 inch to 2 inch, depending on how big you want your little rounds to be. But I'm going to do about 2 inches of a cookie. Now this recipe will give you anywhere, depending on how big you make your rounds, it's going to give you anywhere from 2 dozen up to 3 dozen of those little shortbread chocolate chip cookies. Now I'm going to go on and refrigerate my dough for about 30 minutes before I start making my rounds, okay? And so here we go. Our dough has been chilling in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. You can do it up to an hour or even overnight. Now, if you do chill your dough overnight, you want to make sure that you cover your bowl and, you put your bowl in the refrigerator and you cover it. However, when you take it out, you want to sit on your counter for about 10 to 15 minutes to let the dough soften up a little bit, because it will get very, very firm if you let it chill overnight. All right, so be mindful. Now, what I do is I go on it. I just have my little scooper and I'm making my little rounds just like that. I like to make sure that every round that I make has a few chocolate chips in there, because like I said, this dough is rather dry because it's a shortbread dough, and shortbread dough is usually pretty dry because you don't have the egg and the vanilla that I mentioned earlier. And that's all I do. You see there, I'm just rounding it in my hand. Just like that, and I just kind of pat it and shape it. I try to get it nice and round as possible, and I'm a little bit of a perfectionist at times, so I go back and I just recheck my rounds to see how I have the cookie. And like I said, you can make these as small as you like, just little tiny bite size to bigger ones. Now my oven is preheating on 350 degrees, and I'm going to go on and finish up this cookie platter with the rest of my little rounds. Also, what is great, guys, is that if you are doing like a cookie exchange, or you want to give cookies to your neighbors or your coworkers, these are great because it doesn't take a lot of effort to make these cookies, because you're only using those few ingredients, and it comes together so nicely that if you don't have a lot of time, this is definitely the cookie for you if you're doing a little cookie or a gift exchange. Our cookies are out of the oven. They have baked for 13 minutes. And how you know what, because these cookies are not going to get very, very brown. So how you know when your cookies are ready to come out of the oven is that around the very bottom, around the base, they'll start to get a nice golden color. Just a little golden color around the bottom base of your cookie round. And that's when you know it's time to take your cookies out. You want to go on and put them on a rack to cool. And once your cookies have cooled for a minute, you want to go on and dust them with a little bit of powdered sugar. Well, that is it, guys. That is our recipe for shortbread chocolate chip. I hope you give this recipe a try. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, go on and hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video, go on and give us a thumbs up. And remember, it is always good when Devon is cooking for the family. I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye-bye.